Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This beautiful, let's go share. Beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Yo. Oh dear, I do that all the time. Okay, got it. Hi, how you doing? So I wanted to jump on today. Well, for those of you who are tuning in, make sure that you say hello when you jump on. I'm just going to take my shoes off. And if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay so that I can see who's going to see this message. I love that. Hello, eyes. I see eyes, but I can't see people, so make sure you say g'day, guys, and give me some love hearts. For those of you who don't know, my name is Nikki. I am a love coach. I work with women who are looking to find love or attract love into their lives, but they keep attracting the wrong guys. They don't know why. So we dive in and clear all the bullshit, all of that BS that's keeping us stuck and in wrong guy territory to be able to then create the kind of love that we desire in our lives, starting with self. So I wanted to jump in today and just have a quick chat about, hi Dana, how are you, my love? Radical responsibility. So this is something that I fucking love and is something that I try to practice consistently in my life. Obviously, I'm human and I have times when that doesn't always follow through exactly as I want it to, and I slip into victim mode. But it always comes back to radical self-responsibility. And what do I mean by that? It means that you are taking full responsibility for everything that happens in your life. And I know this can be really confronting, and there is a chance that this conversation will trigger you, and that's okay, but hang out with that trigger and just see when you kind of dig in a bit deeper underneath what's being triggered, see what is actually underlying that. And more often than not, when we're triggered by something, it's because there's truth or there's something in us that we're avoiding. So I had a client who I was talking with recently, and a little bit like she was in a really unhealthy relationship for a very long time, and every time we've been having conversations where she's been kind of reverting to, well, he made me like this. It was because of him that I was isolated. It was because of what he did that I felt this way. And yes, his moves were douche, like total douche moves, and not okay. But what's happening here is by her blaming him for what's going on in her life or the things that she is now experiencing or she experienced, she is essentially giving away her power and slipping into victim mode. And victim mentality is when we blame others for our current situation. Hey Nerida, how are you, my love? So this is when we are blaming everything outside of us for what's going on in our current situation and in our lives. And what happens there is that you essentially are giving away your power. This keeps you stuck. It doesn't allow you to actually learn and grow and move forward. It holds us back. You're doing some sweeping. I can't help you at the moment, darling. I'll help you soon. Can you play with your cars while Mummy finishes? Yeah? So essentially it keeps us really stuck in where we're at. It doesn't allow us to move forward, and we remain the victim. And what happens when we actually step out of that and take responsibility? Griffin, no. Sorry, guys. Stop. That's not okay. No. Stop. No. All right, my wife. Essentially, what happens is that when we keep blaming someone else for our situation, we lose our power and it keeps us stuck in victim mode. Whereas when we actually step up and step into owning what happened. So, if her experience was a massive emotional abuse. And what was happening was that when she was speaking about it, she was blaming him still. And I sat and I said to her, and I'm like, this is probably going to trigger you as fuck, and that's okay. But there was a part of you that you get to take ownership of that allowed that to happen to you. You allowed that experience to continue and to happen to you. And it was funny because I watched her face completely change, and I was like, oh God, she's going to flip out and tell me to fuck off or whatever. But it was funny because she was like, whoa, like I've never looked at it that way. And when you actually look at it that way and go, okay, so I played a part in this, like where did I play a part in this? And how can I learn from that and actually prevent that from happening again? Because then you're taking ownership for your part in it and you can actually make some changes. Whereas if you're blaming someone else constantly for what is going on and what you're experiencing, you can't fucking shift anything because you cannot change anyone else. You're not responsible for anybody else. They're only responsible for themselves. And the more you try and change someone, the more resistance you're going to come up against. When all we can actually do is take a step back and go, okay, how did I show up in this situation? What was the part that I played in this situation? What part of me allowed XXX to happen, to be treated that way? Where do I need to learn and grow and build on myself to be able to assure that this doesn't happen again, for me to grow and expand and step more powerfully into owning who I am and having boundaries in place and protecting myself? And this is really important, because if you stay in that victim mode, oh, he did this to me and it's his fault that I'm like this, then you're going to continually attract exactly what you've attracted in the past, because nothing is going to shift, nothing is going to change inside of you. Whereas if you take responsibility and go, okay, how can I avoid that? How can I ensure that I don't allow that experience to be in my life again? Then you get to actually step up and go, okay, I'm taking charge here. I'm taking ownership and I'm refusing to allow this, this, and this in my life, and I'm going to have boundaries in place. And this is why I've done this in the past, and this is what I'm going to do to ensure that it never happens again. Yeah, so this is something that's happened for me in the last few weeks too, and this is why I'm very, I practice what I preach, because I have been in comparison mode. I have been looking at these incredible women that I'm doing this business course with and seeing the lives that they live and that they share on social media and going, oh God, I want that, and that's what I'm missing out on, and I fucking hate my life, and it's because I've got kids that I can't do this. So I have been playing victim to my children and my family life, rather than taking ownership and going, well, where am I actually not creating the joy in my life right now? And that's all it came down to, is that I'm not creating play, I'm not creating fun, I'm not being creative, I'm not doing the things that make me full. I had slipped into giving, and not taking care of me again. So yesterday I got to sit down, and if you're on my Instagram, you would have seen a post that I put up where I wrote a letter to myself, a little note to myself saying, Nick, I love you, but it's time to fucking step up. You get to take radical responsibility for yourself again here. And this is why I practice what I preach. And in doing that, then I go, okay, so where have I been keeping myself small, keeping myself stuck, blaming others for my situation or my experiences, avoiding creating the life that I want to create for myself, etc., etc. And then I wrote out a plan and made some changes to ensure that I get time for creative play. I get time to be really just present with my kids. I have time for my incredible clients, but I have it structured. I have time for my training, but I have it structured, and me time and all these things that are going to bring me joy and keep my cup full. Which means, I look at my life and I have an incredible life. I'm so fucking lucky, and I love my kids and I love what I've created. But I wasn't living presently, and I wasn't appreciating that. I was so focused on comparing to what others were, and not, owning and accepting what I actually have. So I got to take radical responsibility for myself, stop blaming my experience, my situation, stop blaming my children, and go, right, Nick, well, where do you get to step up and show up for yourself now? Where do you get to make the changes to ensure that you are creating the joy? And that is radical self-responsibility. And this is fucking game-changing, massive. When we start taking responsibility for ourselves, then nobody can touch us. If we own all of ourselves, then nobody can hurt us, nobody can touch us, because we know who we are. And we take full ownership of our actions, of everything that we experience, of all of our choices, because we choose them. At the end of the day, we choose them. And that was another thing I was saying to my client, it's always a choice. You get to choose from here how you want to move forward. You get to choose if you want to be happy. You get to choose if you want to be miserable. And she didn't understand it until I dropped the bomb on the whole slipping out of victim and taking responsibility for self. So I hope that this has landed for some of you, and that it may be the message that you needed to hear right now. If it is, awesome. Let me know if this is something you're struggling with. Always feel free to reach out to me on PM and tell me if you've got this stuff going on. I love hearing from you all. And if not, or if you know anyone else that may need to hear this, please share this message or tag them in the comments, because it's really important. This is something I'm really passionate about, ensuring that we as women really step into our power and claim it, yeah? Stop playing the victim. Step into your power, own your worth, own yourself, and choose to create the life that you fucking desire and deserve on your terms. Because you can, but you've got to stop blaming and stop fucking being the victim. Okay, I'm complete. I love you all so much. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's incredible here in Brisbane, and yeah, I'll be seeing you soon. Dance today. Make some movement. Bye.